Hello, and welcome to the How to Pass the Colorado's Driver Test podcast. I'm Theodore Reynolds from Mindtree Exponential. At MindTreeX, we look for ways to enrich content to improve its ability to help students learn. Reading text is a lot like trying to eat a pile of raw vegetables. Enriching the text, say by turning it into audio content, throwing in some music, and adding a few sound effects, and bam, you got yourself some tasty ice cream. Well, at least, tasty ice cream for your brain. For now, here's a small cone of ice cream learning to help you pass the Colorado Driver Test. This is an enriched audio production of the official Colorado Driver Handbook. To get a free copy of the PDF of the Colorado Driver Handbook, and some other free toppings for your ice cream, please visit howtopassthecoloradodrivertest.com. Enjoy. 9. Before you drive. Your ability to be a safe driver depends on being able to see clearly, not being overly tired, not driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, being generally healthy, and being emotionally fit to drive. In other words, being in shape to drive safely. Vision. Good vision is a must for safe driving. You drive based on what you see. If you cannot see clearly, you will have trouble identifying traffic and road conditions, spotting potential trouble, and reacting in a timely manner. It is important to have your eyes checked every year or two by an eye specialist. If you have a corrective lenses restriction on your license, you need to wear glasses or contact lenses while driving. Hearing. Hearing can be helpful to safe driving. The sounds of horns, a siren, or screeching tires can warn you of danger. Hearing problems, like bad eyesight, can come on so slowly that you do not notice it. These problems should be addressed on a regular basis. And per CRS, it is illegal to wear any type of headphones while you are driving because they can interfere with your hearing. Fatigue. When you are tired, you cannot drive as safely as when you are rested. Your reactions and decision-making skills are greatly reduced. Break long driving periods into 2-hour segments. If you become drowsy, pull off the road and rest. Health. Many health problems can affect your driving. A bad cold, infection, or a virus. Even little problems like a stiff neck, a cough, or a sore leg can affect your driving. Some conditions can be very dangerous, such as epilepsy, diabetes, and heart conditions. Check with your doctor if you think your health condition could affect your driving. Emotions. Emotions can have a great effect on safe driving. You may not be able to drive well if you are overly worried, excited, afraid, or angry. Do not give in to road rage. Distractions. A distraction is anything that diverts your attention, even momentarily, from the task of driving. Driving requires your full attention. Before you begin your trip, adjust your seat, your mirrors, the radio, and the temperature, and secure any loose objects in the car. Be sure you and everyone else in the vehicle, particularly children, are wearing age-appropriate restraint devices. Do not allow yourself to become distracted by your cell phone, conversations with passengers, noisy children, or by rubbernecking. Limit your cell phone use while driving to brief, essential, or, if under 18, emergency calls only. Pull off the road to a safe area for a longer cell phone conversation or to control children. Do not attempt to eat or drink, read, smoke, apply makeup, shave, or adjust the radio or CD while you are driving. In the time it takes to change radio stations, lives may be changed forever. Vehicle. How safely you can drive includes the vehicle you are driving. It is the responsibility of drivers to make certain that the vehicles they drive are safe to operate. A vehicle that is in poor operating condition is unsafe, costs more to run, and may not get you out of an emergency situation, such as a breakdown or collision. You should follow your vehicle owner's manual for routine maintenance. A few simple checks will prevent trouble on the road and ensure your vehicle is in compliance with Colorado motor vehicle laws. Braking system. If the brakes do not seem to be working properly, such as the brake pedal goes to the floor, have a mechanic check them immediately. Lights. Make sure that turn signals, brake lights, tail lights, and headlights are operating properly. Windshield and wipers. Damaged glass can easily break in a minor collision or when something hits the windshield. Have the windshield replaced. Windshield wipers keep the rain and snow off the windshield. Make sure they are in good operating condition. If the blades have not been working well, replace them. Keep your windshield clean inside and out, and keep your window washer bottle full. Clear snow, ice, or frost from all windows. Tires. Worn or bald tires can increase your stopping distance, make turning more difficult, can cause hydroplaning at lower speeds when the road is wet, and increase the chance of having a flat tire. Unbalanced wheels and low tire pressure increase tire wear, reduce fuel economy, and make the vehicle harder to steer and stop. If the vehicle bounces or the steering wheel shakes or the vehicle pulls to one side, have a mechanic check your tires. Steering system. If the vehicle is hard to turn, have the steering checked by a mechanic. Suspension system. If the vehicle bounces excessively, keeps bouncing after a bump or after you stop, you may need new shocks or other suspension parts. Have a mechanic check it out. Exhaust system. Fumes from a leaky exhaust system can cause death in a very short time. Never run the motor in your garage or sit in the car with the motor running without opening a window. Most exhaust problems are easily heard. Have them fixed. Engine. A poorly tuned engine may lose power that is necessary for normal driving and emergencies, may not start, gets poor fuel economy, pollutes the air, and could die on you when you are on the road, causing problems for you and other traffic. Horn. The horn should be checked for operation periodically. Mirrors. Adjust your rear view mirror and side mirrors before you begin to drive. You should be able to see out the back window with the rear view mirror and adjust your side mirrors to let you see the lane behind and most of the lane next to you. Loose objects. Make sure that there are no packages or other objects on the rear shelf or back seat that could injure someone in the event of a sudden stop or crash. Make sure there are no objects on the floor that could roll under the brake pedal or accelerator and interfere with your safe driving. Head restraints. They should be adjusted so the head restraint contacts the back of the head. 10. Rules of the road. 10.1. Traffic controls. Traffic controls include traffic signals, traffic signs, and pavement markings. Traffic control also can be provided by law enforcement, highway personnel, or school crossing guards. You must obey directions from these persons. 10.1a. Traffic signals. Traffic signals are lights that tell you when or where to stop and go. Traffic lights are usually at intersections and are red, yellow, and green from top to bottom. There are intersections and other locations where there are single green, yellow, or red lights. If the traffic signal is not operating or is malfunctioning, treat the intersection as a four-way stop. Steady red light. Stop until a green light appears. After stopping and yielding to pedestrians and other traffic, and if not prohibited by a traffic sign, you may turn right while the light is red. Also, you may turn left on a red light if you are turning from a one-way street onto another one-way street, unless prohibited by a sign. Steady yellow light. A red light is about to appear. Stop unless you are already within the intersection. Steady green light. You may proceed straight through or turn right or left unless a sign prohibits such turns. However, you must yield to any vehicle or pedestrian within the intersection or adjacent crosswalk. Green arrow. A lighted green arrow by itself or along with a red, green, or yellow light means you may make the turn indicated by the arrow. If the green arrow goes off, but the circular green is on, you may still turn after yielding to through vehicles, unless prohibited by a sign or red arrow. Yellow arrow. A lighted red arrow is about to appear. Stop if you are not already in the intersection. Red arrow. A lighted red arrow means that you may not proceed in the direction indicated by the arrow. Flashing red light. A flashing red light means the same as a stop sign. Stop, then proceed only after yielding to pedestrians and other traffic. Flashing yellow light. A flashing yellow light is a warning of a hazard. Slow down and proceed with caution. 10.1b. Traffic signs. Traffic signs tell you about traffic rules, hazards, where you are, give directions and where services are located. The shape and color of these signs give clues to the type of information they provide. Regulatory. These signs tell you of laws and regulations that apply at a specific location. They are black or red on a white background. Failure to obey these signs is a traffic violation. Speed limit signs. These signs indicate the maximum or minimum safe speed that is allowed. The maximum limits are for ideal conditions, and you must reduce your speed when conditions require it. Stop signs. This sign means you must come to a complete stop. Stop at the marked stop line, or, if none, at the point just before the intersecting street. If there is a crosswalk, you must come to a complete stop before entering it. You may proceed only after yielding to all pedestrians and vehicles. Yield signs. This sign indicates drivers must reduce speed or stop if necessary to yield right of way to any traffic on the roadway they are crossing or entering. Wrong way, do not enter signs. This sign is used to warn and redirect drivers who are headed down the wrong way on a one-way street or freeway ramps. Do not proceed past one of these signs. One-way signs. Travel only in the direction indicated by the arrow on the sign. Lane control signs. These signs give direction and where you can turn and often use an arrow symbol. The signs are along the road or hanging over the road. Sometimes arrows may be painted on the road. Prohibited signs. These signs indicate you cannot do something. For example, no left turn or no U-turn. Passing signs. These signs tell you where it is safe to pass another vehicle and where you cannot. Passing areas are based on how far you can see ahead. Where it is permitted to pass, you may do so only if it is safe. Warning signs. These signs are yellow or fluorescent green with black symbols and most often are diamond-shaped. They warn you to slow down and be prepared to stop. It may warn of intersections, different types of highways, traffic entering your area, curves, etc. Advisory speed signs. These cautionary signs show the safe speed around curves, corners, and off-ramps. Railroad crossings. Many railroad crossings have signs or signals to warn drivers. Never try to beat a train across the tracks. Never start to cross the tracks until there is enough room for your vehicle to clear the tracks on the other side. Do not shift gears when crossing the railroad tracks in case your vehicle stalls. Work zone signs. These signs have an orange background with black letters or symbols. They are used with other traffic control devices or flag persons to help direct traffic safely through work areas and to protect highway workers. Guide signs. These signs have a green background and provide directional and mileage information to specific destinations. Service signs. These signs have blue backgrounds and provide directions to service facilities. Signs with brown backgrounds indicate recreational, historic, or cultural areas. Route signs and markers. The shape of the sign indicates the type of roadway: interstate, U.S., state, or county highway. Slow-moving vehicle. A reflective orange triangle on the rear of a vehicle means it is designed to travel at speeds less than 25 miles per hour. Disabled parking signs. These signs mark special parking areas for only those vehicles displaying a disabled parking permit. Disabled parking indicators may also appear on the pavement in designated parking spaces. Cross-hatched sections are for van access only, and parking is not allowed at any time. In order to park in a disabled parking space, the person that owns the disabled placard must be entering or exiting the vehicle. If an individual parks illegally in a designated disabled parking spot without a placard or plate, they will be subject to a misdemeanor with a fine of between $350 to $5,000, to include possible jail time, loss of driving privileges, and or their car being impounded. If someone parks in one of these spaces with a placard or plate not issued to them personally, they will be subject to double the fines listed above, as well as jail time, loss of driving privileges, and towing. 10.1c. Pavement markings. Lines and symbols on the roadway divide lanes, tell you when you may pass other vehicles or change lanes, which lanes to use for turns, define pedestrian walkways, and mark where you must stop for traffic signals or signs. Yellow lines separate traffic moving in opposite directions. Broken yellow line. Drive on the right side of the road and pass with care. Solid yellow lines means a no passing zone. Double solid yellow lines. Neither side can pass. Solid and broken yellow lines. You may not pass if the solid yellow line is on your side. If the broken yellow line is on your side, you may pass if it is safe to do so. You may cross a solid yellow line for a left turn into an alley, private road, or driveway when such movement can be made safely. White lines separate lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. Broken white line. You may change lanes if it is safe to do so. Solid white line requires you to stay within the lane and also marks the shoulder of the roadway. Crosswalks. Crosswalks define the area where pedestrians are to cross the roadway. They exist whether the lines are marked or unmarked. You must stop behind the crosswalk to allow any pedestrians to cross. Whenever you approach any vehicle from the rear that is stopped at a crosswalk, you may not pass that vehicle. 10.1d Lane Controls. As a rule, you must drive your vehicle on the right half of the road. Use only one lane. Do not straddle lanes. On roadways without designated bicycle lanes, bicycles are generally required to stay to the far right of the right lane. They may use the entire lane to pass another vehicle, avoid objects in the road, and turn left. Restricted lane. One or more lanes may be restricted. Restricted lanes are marked by signs or pavement markings stating that the lane is restricted for special use. There will be a white diamond painted on the road within the lane and or a sign posted at the side of the road which specifies its use. Examples are transit, bus, or bicycle lanes. Reversible lane. Some travel lanes are designed to carry traffic in one direction at certain times and in the opposite direction at other times. These lanes are separated by a barrier or marked by double broken yellow lines. There may be signs posted by the side of the road or overhead. Sometimes special lights are used. High Occupancy Vehicle Lane, HOV lane. These lanes are identified by a white diamond painted on the roadway. Signs will identify the types of vehicles and the number of occupants required per vehicle to use the lane. Shared Center Turn Lane. These center lanes are reserved for turning and are used by vehicles traveling in both directions. You may turn into or from the road using this lane. You may stop in this lane until it is safe to complete the turn. When a street has a shared center turn lane, you may not turn left from any other lane. This lane is not to be used to pass another vehicle. Unmarked lane. When there are no signs or pavement markings to control the use of lanes, there are rules that indicate which lane is to be used. Drive just to the right of the center of the road. Do not drive on the shoulder of the road. The same rules for passing and turning on marked roads apply with unmarked roads. Rotary island or roundabout lane. Yield to traffic already within the rotary island. Drive to the right and watch for directional signs and signals. Before we go, I will just ask you to remember this. Millions and millions of people have already passed this driver test, or one just like it. You can pass it too. And listening to one of these podcast episodes every day will give you a huge advantage. So I expect to see you back here for the next episode.